I'll just sit in the background.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. We have a special guest, Mr. Lewy Blackmore, who had a very successful weekend. That's why I've got him on. So this is going to be a show review, PCA first timers Wolverhampton, and I saw Lewy posted like double overall, and I was like, "That's fucking cool." So I commented like, "Congrats, mate!" I can't remember what I commented, but then I was like, "I tell you what, it'd be good to get on," and here we are. So. Mate, give us a bit of a rundown as to who you are, first of all. Obviously, people will know who
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are, I'd imagine. And then give us a bit of a sort of wrap up on the weekend. I'll relay some of the PCA footage in the background as well. But yeah,
Nice.
talk us through it, mate.
Let's
Talk us
go.
through the
Yeah.
weekend.
Firstly, boys, thank you for having me on. I think it's like a proper meeting. The first time we've actually met, albeit over Zoom, but you have the industry, you get to
There's a bit of a
hear
misconception
people's.
back in
It's
the day
yeah.
that it was almost a prep or a dieting compound. Now, in my opinion, this is going to be something that you can utilize as one of the main drivers of total anabolism. So,
I don't know what's going on
What
there,
is
boys.
going on?
Right, I'm back. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I think a reel
We're
started
just
playing.
you're just dropping information bombs
Dropping
on
reels,
top.
dropping content in the
Yeah,
background.
I just we
Just
just
can't
decided.
help but fly in the content when he can.
That's what it is. Sorry, I literally could hear myself, and I was like, "This Finn's
I know,
laptop
I
or is
was
this?" I
confused.
just paused it.
Am I
And then
am
we
I
all
go,
just stopped, and we were just like, "Oh, what's happening here?"
am I going mad? Like, what is that? So anyway, we're good, mate. Like I said, it's great to meet you boys properly. The industry in a small world, but at the same time, sometimes you just don't get to meet up with certain people. So it's good for us to chat about some shows as well. It's good to see, the federation itself, PCA, they do things really well. It's always good to see. Like even if you look at, what we've got up on the screen here, like the footage you can get on here is fantastic. So I was very fortunate to have a successful weekend of it, in which I had two athletes. I had Oris in men's physique, who is a lifetime natty, which I think does deserve some credit as well. I think that's a nice statement for people who are perhaps considering competing, and want to sort of step into these federations and may feel like that may be a reason why they can't. So that was a really cool statement with Oris. Been working with him for 18 months. He's obviously, and similar with Raws, I'll go over in a minute. They've been training relentlessly for years and years and years. And I'm not sure, what are your guys' sort of opinions on, when's the right time for someone to compete for the first time? Do you feel like it should be with the view to do not, win? We never say win in bodybuilding, but are you sort of the people who say like the journey's the important fit, stage one, see if you enjoy it, or do you go in with more the mentality of like we're here to take placings and win to make it worth it? What do you guys sort of
Definitely
think about that?
I'd say definitely the latter, personally. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like,
yeah,
especially when you get into the hardships of like the last couple of weeks, if your mindset is I'm just gonna take place and make up numbers or just do it for the experience, you're probably gonna hate it and you stick to it. I feel like you need to have that mindset of like, I'm going to win or I'm going to do fucking well. Like, obviously, there's going to be some people that, let's say, admittedly, we probably all coach that maybe genetically aren't the best. And, they might not be realistically going to be winning shows, but you still want to be bringing the best package and doing well. And I don't know, I always think to people, I say to people, like, it's competing, you want to be competitive. If you're going and you're going to get a second call out at a PCA show out of like 8 people, in my opinion, it's like, okay, sometimes you misjudge the standard. It might be a case where you miss your mark slightly, but there should be that foundation where it's like you've got lean, you've got a good foundation, you've gone through the years of actually building yourself up, and then you're actually in the right position to compete. Because especially with these first timer shows, I thought this one was actually a lot better, but the first one that they did this year, I thought the standard was pretty poor, unfortunately. I think the overall winners were pretty good, but the actual standard, like person to person, was a bit meh. And I feel like it's probably because it's the first show of the year. People look at it and think PCA first time, that's what I'm going to do. It was the first show I did, and unfortunately, a lot of people missed the mark
Christmas as
with.
well. You got Christmas,
Yeah,
like 12
yeah,
weeks out,
exactly.
I think. Yeah, you're in trouble, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're in trouble. What about you, Finn? What do you
Exactly.
think about? Is it similar mindset in terms of a client comes on, they've been training maybe 6 months, and they say, "Look, I want to compete." What's your sort of approach and education, and what do you sort of say to them? Or again, do you think, the prep sometimes is the journey, or is it more like that moment on stage and feeling like it
Finn,
should
I'll
be
let
with the
you
view to win?
take this one, mate. You go
I
ahead,
think
Finn.
it's like I think it depends on the individual. Like, obviously, you'll say there's some people that might have trained for, let's say, 6 months, but some absolute freaks out there, and it's like you've trained for 6 months, and you're like, Jesus Christ. And also for them, like 6 months might be 6 months of like, oh, I'm actually taking it serious, but they maybe trained for like, you know, on and off for a few years. But yeah, I think it depends on the individual. Like I've had clients compete who like they know that they're not at the level, and obviously it is difficult. And I'm very honest with my clients. Like I'm never going to be like, oh yeah, you know, you're going to place, or you know, you're going to be undeniable. Like I fucking hate that kind of shit. Like I'll just say to people, look, this is the level that you're at. Like you can't control who turns up. All you can control is how good you can be. But then like Reese is saying, I completely get that. Like there were times last year throughout my prep towards the end where like the only thing that was getting me going was like, I might be able to win a British title, or I might be able to win a show. Like if I knew that I was nowhere near, I'd be like, I'm not doing it. Yeah, I'd be like, it's not worth it. I'm just going to get growing again. Like I'd be straight out of it. I'd be like, I need to grow. So I think it depends on the person. I think if anything, it takes a stronger individual mentally to compete when they know that they're not at the level. But also,
I hear you.
Yeah, I think it definitely does. But I also think if that's the case, get in, get it done for some experience, then get out. Like, don't be wasting time prepping for months and months and months on end. Like, just get it done. If it's an experience you wanna try out, cool, compete. You'll realize very quickly what it entails, how difficult it is, and what standard you're at. And then you'll probably realize, oh shit, I'm way off. I need a lot of time. Like, and that's fine. If that's what you needed, then it's never a bad thing to do that, really. If you know that, you know, it sort of kicks you up the arse and makes you realize that the standard's a lot better than you maybe thought. It's like when I think like when Reese first competed, even when I first competed, like back in the day when me and Reese met, we were both probably a bit arrogant in a sense that like, well, most people tell us that we look good. Yeah, you're the biggest guy in the uni gym or whatever. Like I remember training at uni on at the Holywell gym on campus, and I was like, everyone was like, "Oh, mate, you know, you should compete." And it's like you think you're the fucking dog's bollocks, and then you realize
the B-lock.
Yeah, there's a lot of other people that are decent. Mate. So,
but that was 100%. That was 100% me. Like on a personal note, my competing journey. You know, that sort of you get gassed up. You think you got it. I come in. I probably looked about 10 weeks out for like my first 3 shows. It's like you go in the gym. You're like, bro, what's that, mate? My first one. Oh, mate, UK BFF Portsmouth. I think it was 2017. I think it was 2017. I was about 21 at the time. But yeah, you just get gassed up, and you get lured into that almost false sense of security. But yeah, it's just an interesting one because it's what I always talk to my clients about as well. I think I sit in the middle because I want to understand the expectations from the client. So if someone's come to me and they're in it for sort of what they would say the long run, you know, I want to, pro card aspirations or whatever that may be when they're initially all excited, then, okay, well, that first time on stage, then we're going to make sure it is worth it. And I will delay that. And the reason why I segue that into this is with Raws. So Rory, who won bodybuilding short after getting moved up from classic, and then took the overall, it was a 3-year project for Raws. So, his goal is to turn pro and come on board. And safe to say 3 years ago, he didn't look like how he does now as well. And it would have been so easy for us to put him on stage sooner as well. But we just set out more of a longer term vision. And he actually spent 3 years essentially without even mini dieting once as well, to put that in perspective. So he just kept grinding. So that was why I wanted to ask it, because timing is everything, but I also definitely sit on the other side of with some clients, like, view it as like running a marathon. It's like what Finn said, like people run a marathon, don't think they're going to win the marathon, but sometimes finishing the marathon is what it's all about. And to which at that point, but I still think there should be a standard to uphold as well from like a muscle mass point of view too. I feel like we as coaches need to be honest. Like we don't want people to go up there and almost not feel embarrassed, but like, coming last of the last in that respect, because that, like you were saying, in terms of like the standard. So I think there needs to be a middle ground of coaches where if we are pushing people to go through that awful time of what a competition prep is and the sacrifice, when it comes to that moment, I definitely feel like there needs to be a standard of muscle mass, condition, etc., that comes with it. So, yeah, with Raws, and also a really valuable lesson for anyone who is considering PCA as well is the criteria. So we knew it'd be fairly close if he would be deemed sort of too big. I don't know if you've got a shot of Rory's posterior at all, but I think that was kind of what gave it away. But if anyone is listening to this and considering PCA, it's a good thing. They stuck to their guns with the criteria, which is something I really respect. And I spoke to the head judge, and I sort of said, well, it is a first timers show, so they say you judge what's in front of you. I said, how would you feel if Raws went into the universe, where naturally there'd be some winners there, and he still said, like, no, in terms of what we're looking for with our criteria, it would probably be the same result come that's his bodybuilding one there. So, and talk about overcoming adversity for Raws. So Raw stepped on stage on Classic. He gets moved off of stage after doing a round of mandatories. He then has to wait 2 categories or 3 categories for bodybuilding short, gets taken off because they hired him wrong. And this is his first experience of stage as well. And we've obviously nailed the peak, and we're trying to do this. So by the time Raw's come here, he's already been on stage 3 times, been doing rounds as well. So absolute credit to him on overcoming that, not losing his head, and still delivering a package. And to be fair, if anyone is watching this, and I know they say it, the cliche, but this does not do him any justice at all in terms of how good he looked. The videos do look a little bit washed out. I don't know if do you agree, Finn? You was there. I don't know if you did see Raws at all on stage.
No, I didn't. I wasn't there, mate. I was on holiday. I had a
client
there though.
I see.
But it's the same every time. Like, everyone says
honestly,
the same, don't they? Like, and it is true. Like, we've been to quite a few of the shows, and it's like, oh, he did look a bit sharper in person. Like, it's always just a bit. Yeah. The condition's never quite the same on video, is it?
Nah, the pictures are good. The pictures are good, and what I'll say as well is, anyone who is listening to this and considering competing is the importance of your posing as well. Like, especially as a first timer, like, it is the easiest way to stand out is if you're confident and you nail your shots. You just straight away, you're going to be above other people. Whereas when you're doing open lineups, the baseline is that everyone should be able to pose. And that was one of the 2 big things with Reese and Raws, is just how much time they put into their posing. So shout out Leon Physique Collective who worked with Raws, as you can see there, showing some love as well. And Reese had Kaz, who does the men's physique pose as well. So credit to those guys. I'll always suggest to any of my clients to work with people separately to me to go through the posing. In the past, I've tried to manage posing as well, and I feel like any team sport has different coaches for different roles, and I think it's just as important for bodybuilding, in my opinion. Like, what I found, I can just go, right, that's separate. I know my athlete's taking care of that. On their tracking sheet, we keep them accountable to it, just to tick it off, just so I'm aware of how many hours they're putting in a week. And credit to those guys, they were putting in a minimum of 3 hours of posing a week for about 12 weeks, and it definitely paid off as well. So credit to those gentlemen. To win shows, like we said, there's an element of course, genetics, being fortunate, but they hand on heart ticked every box as well. So really deserved a set of W's for the boys.
It does show, doesn't it? Like, you can just tell the people that just tick the boxes. Like, you don't get into the condition that this guy's in, and obviously even again, like, the reels don't really do it justice, but it just shows like
the reel does do him justice. See, this guy looks being sliced.
Yeah,
like, so if you look on the
reel isn't doing him justice. Like,
yeah, like he's one of the most shredded people I've ever seen. Yeah. It was exceptional, boys. It was really nice. So yeah, it's been a successful one, and we go again up to Hull. Are you boys there over the weekend at Hull at all? You on another holiday, Finn?
Shows, mate.
Yeah, not more holidays, mate. Just can't stop going away.
Yeah,
the MBW, the Natty show, mate, on Sunday in Rugby. We'll be at that one.
Nice. You got many people?
I've got 4.
Yeah. Love it.
I've just got one of the best teams I've ever seen, so that'll be quite fun.
Oh man, when I was a teenager, anyway. Best of luck to those boys. Absolutely fair play, and much respect to the Natty crew as well.
Can I ask, mate? Going back to Rory, the classic. The guy that got second, I know, was Nate Styles' client.
Yeah, he was good.
Was your, because we saw him pose 4, 5, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it must have been the Finn. Do you reckon it was the off-plan dates that
Must have been the off-plan dates that Nate was telling us about, yeah.
Yeah, Nate was saying to us on the podcast
That's
a few
coming
weeks
out
back.
tomorrow morning, that.
Okay, so that'll be good. So he was saying that he basically was eating dates just in between meals and stuff, and then he pulled the dates out and he got like peeled. But we saw him pose in person at like 4, 5, 6 weeks out. And
He was
he looked
ridiculous.
fucking crazy. He looked really, really good. He looked really good. Did you think it was close, or did you think?
So it was a really good battle, and you know what? Rawls was really grateful that in the end, you know, the best two guys on the day got to battle it out for sure. Like they were definitely the two standout athletes. I think with Rawls, he's just so complete everywhere, you know, and in terms of his proportions and in terms of like shot for shot, it was definitely close. In all honesty, for being honest, to criticize the posing was off for Nate's client. His front lat spread, his biceps were too high. It was making his chest look really shallow, whereas Rory was, you know, tilting those shoulders down, chest through. So there was a little bit there in terms of some margins. But in fairness, as you did face the rear, you know, honestly, like Rory's adductors hamstring stripped out was of pro, like IFBB pro qualifier winning worthy as well. If you take a look here, like just a little bit in terms of proportions from top to bottom, left to right, I would say that it was a really close battle. They actually took him through 3 rounds of full posing as well. So it was very, very close. It was very, very close. But yeah, it was. I would definitely still was confident with Rawls, to be fair, but really pushed each other for sure, which makes it really good for them guys. Yeah, it was a really good battle, and an honourable mention to this gentleman here. He's cracking physique, and if he could lend me those arms, then that would be fucking absolutely fantastic.
Mental in person.
Yeah, he looks like
yeah.
He almost looks slightly freakier, but like when you see like his rear lat spread that he did, he's got a thigh gap from the rear, which your guy doesn't. Like his adductors were better. And then as well, like even like the things like the tan, I know obviously he was on multiple times, but like he just stood out. Like I saw when they announced him as the first place, he was stood there with his arms like round the back of his like just round the back, and his quads were just like bubbly as fuck, like really really wide, like delts just popping, and it's like some people they're just built very very well, and then as well you mix that in with really good presentation, wicked tan, like glaze on point. So it's almost like it's what PCA is. Like if this was to be a two-bro show, for example, they could go for the more muscular dude in some shots. But I do think PC is definitely it's an overall package at times. And when you mix all of that in with really good conditioning, it's like when I saw him win the class, I was like, yeah, no surprise. He looks ridiculous. And then when I saw him win the overall, I was like, yeah, again, no surprise.
Yeah, it was a great moment for him. He's put in so much work into that Raw, as everyone does when they get to that place. And both of them, you know, got a big future ahead of them for sure. But yeah, in terms of, I definitely agree. Like when you looked at Raws and just like that complete package, it's kind of like to use an example, Martin Fritz versus Nick, isn't it, in the professional league, right? You had Martin who was just like so complete, and then you had Nick who had the freaky body parts in that regard in terms of like the muscle aspect. So yeah, definitely agree. Maybe different federation, different time. They could flip flop as well. Both of them, you know, awesome athletes as well. I don't know. I think they've kind. Sorry, what's his name? I do apologise. I didn't actually catch his name. Do we know his name?
What his name is?
It's in the wheel usually.
Starbust Ahmad.
Starburst.
Yeah, Starburst for short. Yeah.
So shout out Starburst. So yeah, no, it was a good one. So yeah, boys, I've got physio because I'm trying to fight grandfather time. As time goes on, I need more and more physio.
We'll let you get off, mate. I appreciate that. We said we'd be done by 7, but if and when you are free, mate, it'd be good to get you in the studio at some point. I'll drop you a message about it. It'd be cool. We'll try.
Yeah, it'd be a pleasure. Honestly, it's been nice to be invited on, and we'll definitely do an in-person one. Hash it up, chat some waffle, and try and help some people along the way. Sounds good.
Cool, man. All right, appreciate your time,
boys.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you again.
Bye.
See you later.
Cool.
Right.
Sound guy.
We're back. Yeah, sounds. wasn't a coaching like masterclass PR. It's just a nice dude chatting.
He is sound, to be fair. Whenever I've spoken to him in
Yeah.
person, I've only met him a few times. I met him once at, I can't remember what the gym's called in Bournemouth, when I went to see Miles, and he was there. He was sound then. And then I saw him, when I was at because he trains at the shed now, doesn't he? He lives around there.
Yeah.
I saw him there, and yeah, he's a nice guy. So shall we go through the rest of the show? We've covered
Sure.
the overall bodybuilding winner and the overall physique winner. So we'll scroll down. So juniors, obviously I had Conran in the juniors. He's only a teen. I mean, he's only 18 as well. The junior class was pretty good standard. I was on holiday. I was laying on the beach and I was refreshing it like every 2 seconds, mate. I messaged Conran and I was like, just give me an update as soon as you're done. And bless him, he messaged me like 5th out of 5. Good lineup. I can't remember what else he said, but you could tell he was obviously a bit like disheartened by it. But it's exactly what he needed. Like, I actually think it was the best thing for him because it sort of made him realize, oh shit, yeah, like I'm not where I need to be yet. I need to be leaner. And then now he's like, I'm nailing everything. It's like, well, that's what you should be doing for months on end anyway. Like, not that he's been missing anything. Like, he's not been a client who's been like slacking, but I think his routine has been a lot better since this. Like, and his routine, to be fair, like 2-3 weeks before was a lot better. And he came in really quickly. He looked a lot better. But you can tell he's 3-4 years younger than a lot of these guys. And in 3-4 years' time, Conman will be really good. He needs a lot more from the back, but he's pretty good from the front. He's pretty flat as well. Like, we didn't really peak. I just dropped off some expenditure, like gave him a little bit more food, but what we didn't peak as such. But yeah, he's doing the PCA naturals in 2.5 weeks, and then he's doing the WMBF after that. So he's just getting better and better into those shows. But fair play, like the junior standard was good. So the guy in 4th, I think he was a bit disheartened that he got beat by him, but he's leading.
No, they had they videoed all 5, so clearly they thought to him on the day, oh, they're all sound. Like they wouldn't have included...
from the front. Conran's decent. Again, he needs to be leaner, but from the back, you can tell he's young. He just needs a lot more muscle. But the guy in 4th, I think, was the same age as him, a little bit leaner, a bit fresher. You could tell that he's not had to, like, let's say, dig into the show quite as much. I think his tan was a bit better and his glaze was nicer. But on another day, Conran at his best, I think, would be close with pushing him. Ethan came 3rd, who is Christian's client. I'm sure, did he used to, or is he still? He was like Josh Bridgman's, like co-coach. I'm not sure.
I haven't heard about it, but to be fair, I haven't heard about Bridgman anything coaching related in months. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you have.
But I saw Christian put up a post saying like some preps are like harder than others, or some preps hit harder than others, and he was like really proud of Ethan because he'd struggled with dieting in the past and stuff. So fair play.
Definitely. Like Ethan, I think like Ethan be the first one to admit, like in his off seasons he doesn't look great, like, but he looks really good here. Like his condition's great.
Yeah, he's nailed
it for a long time. And like I remember seeing a post from him that was like, as long as I'm sliced, I'll be happy. And it's like, again, it's probably one person like Ethan, I don't think, was coming in thinking I'm going to fucking win the overall.
Be a freak,
yeah, but like, because he's not a freak. Like you can see in his off seasons, he's not. But he's done really well. He presented a really good package, and it's like, okay, cool. You need to be bigger, and you just need to be better everywhere.
Now you've had that experience of dieting and proven you can do it. So get growing. Like, this is Jackie Eagle's client, Harry, who I think is very good. Just needs time. Like, he's got everything.
He's a mate. He's doing juniors.
Yeah, mate.
This week or next week or something.
He's really good. Like, I think he's really good. I think he just needs time to fill out his structure. Like, he's got great structure and a really nice frame. Like, for classic in a few years' time, I think he'll be ridiculous. Like, he's good now, very good.
Yeah.
And then Joe won, who just
Mason
probably
Mount though.
Huh?
Mason Mount.
He looks a bit like Mason Mount,
like 2 years ago. Yeah.
That's why he came second. He'd have won if he didn't look like Mason Mount. To be fair, I think
then you got Adam Wharton here.
I think it must have been quite close with Adam Wharton. Like, I think he's just a bit sharper, isn't he? Like, I think physique-wise,
a tiny bit sharper.
Yeah, he's a
little bit better.
Yeah,
a little bit fuller through the delts. Like one of those sort of things where it wouldn't surprise me if he's like, because he's enhanced. Like I don't know, is he enhanced? Is this guy enhanced? I'm not
I
sure.
think so. I'm not sure. I
Maybe.
know he's coached by Christian.
Yeah, and I just think it wouldn't surprise me if he has that. Like, it was similar to like Conor Flanagan last year at PCA finals, where the guy that beat him was so similar. He just had a little bit more delt pop. He had just a little bit of fuller arms, and he was just a bit sharper, like through the lower back. And those sort of things do add up when it comes to stepping on stage against somebody. But it was a really good lineup. I feel like the top two could have been either way, and I don't think many people would have complained. But I think the guy that won was deservingly so.
Yeah, he was good. I don't know who won the classic bodybuilding tour, but I'm sure they didn't put the reel up because I was looking for it. But this guy
Yeah.
came second and he looks really good. So whoever won the classic tour must have been pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because this guy, I think, was third. Yeah.
They might have posted it.
This
You know,
guy,
like when we posted it the following
that was short class. So yeah, I don't know. Men's bodybuilding medium. Obviously, we've gone through second and first. This guy trains at Ultraflex Derby, won the bodybuilding short. So shout out to
I saw him.
Dan.
I saw this guy pose. Like he did like an ab pic, you know, by the booty builder, and he's wearing a t-shirt, and like he literally just like looked like a normal dude, and then he like pulled his top up, and he was like sliced the fuck, and I like
he
looked
is
at him and was like,
peeled.
sick. Yeah, like no, but like his arms weren't vascular. He must have been really flat. His arms weren't vascular. His calves weren't lean, and he literally just pulled up his top, and I was like, what the fuck? Fair. So I was like, the midsection is mint, mate. Like really good. So yeah.
Jake
Bodybuilding tour.
Bradbury won the bodybuilding tour. I
Yeah.
can't remember who he's coached by, but I saw them post about it. I'm sure it was a well-known coach. But again, like obviously, like Lewy said, like the medium bodybuilding class was probably the class of the day with those two guys. But again, like those
Mate, look at the reel. Look at the reel after Starburst. Them two. Like that's such a cool photo.
Yeah.
You know, like them two there.
Yeah. I feel for the other lads in that class because
Yeah,
those two are really good.
on mine, because you're watching this, it skips a bit. So the reels don't play automatically for me. And then you just clicked on it, and it went to the first guy, and I went, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
sorry.
It's like, yeah, you forgot to feel sorry for him because the standard was just very good.
Yeah.
Other standout competitors, Abby Courage, tone figure, looked very good.
Yeah.
Did she win the overall? I think she
Are we
did.
are we gonna address the men's physique drama, mate? I was gonna say to Louis, any of your clients, these are actual like they might be first timers, but they've competed loads before, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like, so how many shows has Rory really done? Has he competed before? So yeah, a bit of men's physique drama or drama in general. The winner of I think it was men's physique tour got corrected because he'd already competed before.
It was Masters.
So he was it Masters? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Masters winner wasn't the winner. They sign a form now to say you've not competed before, and he's competed before. What's your thoughts on that, Finn?
Was it? Yeah, so
This was
they've changed it. So this is the real winner.
interesting surname, Wanklin.
Yeah, Aaron Wanklin. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they must have got rid of the other reel then.
Yeah, I think so. It was getting loads of hate because one coach was like posting it again, like comment on this reel, give it hate and stuff, which is a bit. It's like, come on.
I don't know.
They'll sort it out.
On. And then like stuff with freshwater getting knocked out on the pec deck and stuff. Like I don't know what happened. It was popping off my group chat. FK Physiques people were like,
yeah, mate. Someone said it in mine. I was like, great. I had to search sound. So yeah, Sanaya showed me because I couldn't see it on Freshwater because he still has me blocked or I can't view his stories. So yeah, so basically he was like chatting all morning, I think, and saying he didn't like he was basically I think just calling out the coach and the guy, which I understand. Like his client didn't get first place, he got second, and then he was doing loads, and the next story is him just face cut up, lip busted, blood all over his shirt, and it skipped from like him literally sat at his desk, and it's like he works at the same place as the coach that he was calling out, and it's like, what do you expect? And also, like the PCA are going to deal with it. It'd be like me and you when you found out about, or we heard about the pro. You know, you just messaged me going, "Oh mate, the guy that beat me, I think is a pro." And
Mate,
like
I didn't even message the
no,
WMBF or anything.
no. I just literally just read it and went, oh yes. Imagine if I was just like WMBF, get him off.
But
And
that's
it's
how
just like,
people are. Like, I mean, fair enough. It gets the result in the end how it should. And like, fair play. There were people that messaged the WMBF for me without me even saying anything. Like, I know a couple of people had done because they said like, oh yeah, it's come to our attention. And if they hadn't have done that, they probably would have never known. So like, it's the right thing to do. But also, there's a way of going around it, isn't there? Like maybe email them or send them a direct message rather than, let's say, like putting it on your story and then getting knocked out. But fair play to him. He's done the right thing in terms of like calling it out because it's not right. So Josh Davis, shout out to him for winning the junior physique. Tim's client, shout out to Tim. He looked really good. I know he's competing this weekend as well. But yeah, like you said, the standard was a lot better in terms of like all the classes. And again, we've said it every week. Like it makes sense as the shows progress, as it gets closer to the universe. The first timer shows and the normal shows, they are getting better and better. So yeah, I think that was probably the best. Well, definitely the best first timers standard. That we've seen, and probably as well, like close to as good. If this was a normal show, not a first timers, you wouldn't have thought anything of. You wouldn't have been like, "Oh, that's a poor standard." You'd have probably been like, "Yeah, it's a really good standard." Like, especially look at the 4 overall winners. Like, you wouldn't look at that and think that has to be a first time show.
No, definitely not. Like, none of them look like, oh, they've just got it because they're a first timer. But
No.
that like Rory probably wins most overalls, always definitely
Yeah.
within the overall. The men's physique guys absolutely peeled. PCA love that.
Spot on for I think if he had bigger arms and delts, again he's natty. But if he had bigger arms and delts, he's like ridiculous for physique.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
the figure and bikini girls really good as well.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, it was good. It was a good show. We do apologize, guys, about the delay bringing this. Finn was in Barcelona till usually we do this like the night of or the night after, but Finn didn't get back till like Monday late time, like late-ish, and then Tuesday was a busy day for me, and then yesterday I was at trained by JP Shed, so I didn't get back till late. So do apologize, guys, because usually these do a little bit better when they're.
I'm
going to
bring this out tonight. I'll upload it as soon as I can, and then tomorrow morning we have the Nath Styles Part 1 coming out.
Sick.
Also, just while we're here, apologies about us not uploading on Spotify. So Spotify have changed how you upload the podcasts. So before you did it on Anchor, now you have to do it through a Spotify account. But I basically share my Spotify account with my brother-in-law as like a family thing. So it's on his account. So I need to find out how to do it or just set up a new one.
I can. Yeah, I was trying to send you it. It's just I don't know my details off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I'll try. Oh no, mate! I've got it. I'll send you a screenshot. I tried it on my laptop and I couldn't do it because it wouldn't save the password.
Yeah, send it over to me, and then what we're going to do as well, guys, is we will start uploading these to Spotify because I know people do. I got people ask, like, can you put them on Spotify? So yeah, we will get that sorted.
Also, mate, you want to know something? The video we uploaded 3 days ago. You know, the one that I said I had a few clients mention me saying, oh, I really enjoyed just the ones of you two. The most views we've ever had on a solo episode within 3 days. We got with it like it's like the 4th most viewed. We got 1,000 views already.
Cool.
So we need to do more.
Nearly got 1,000 subs.
Yeah, we need to do more close-ups of just us sat there. Like,
it was a close-up. Was it the close-up episode?
Yeah, it was a close-up episode. Yeah, we got 1,000 views already on it, and it's only been 3 days. And the most views we've ever had is 1.6, and that was the what happened at the Two Bros. And then the next one was the 1.3 with Eagles. So almost our most viewed video. Probably will be, I'd imagine, by the time So,
very cool. Thank you for all the support, guys. Appreciate it as always. Hit subscribe if you haven't already.
Comment, like, subscribe. Any reels coming out, Finn? You got any reels content coming out? I got tonight. YouTube video.
Yeah, I need to get some more reels sorted. Sam's slacking.
Any chance of any reels, Sam?
Yeah. Sam, just send me some reels, mate. Even if it's just anything. I don't care. I'll just need to post some reels.
They don't even have to be of me.
I don't mind what they are. Right, come on.
Right. Cool. That'll be it. Thanks as always, guys. Bye-bye. Comment, like, subscribe. See you later. Peace. Bye-bye.